Yesterday was the first time I've cried about the election, and I've just been really angry, and then I was in a lot of denial, and then I became very delusional, really delusional. And I saw the vice presidents together, and I just teared. Yesterday,
you usually never hear of liberals admitting that they became delusional. I guess this woman has a little bit more self-awareness than the rest. Anyways, this is Red Channels. If you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, share it, because that's the #1 way you can help this channel. And also consider going down into the comment section and subbing to me on Patreon for other benefits. And sit back and enjoy the show.
There is no such thing as someone being illegal. This is all land that belongs to everybody. Borders are made up. They're made up. There's no such thing as someone who is on illegal land. There's no such thing as illegals. All of that bullshit was made up by racists.
The news I woke up to this morning: shut down reproductiverights.gov, a website that millions of women use to seek advice when it comes to their own bodies. Pulled out of the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization. Ended birthright citizenships for people who have parents that are illegally here. Birthright citizens, our 14th Amendment. The Constitution is no longer viewable on the internet. Go search it up. I'm having a very hard time staying calm. I'm having a very hard time doing anything but feeling existential doom. And I know that's not helpful, but I don't know.
If you live in Portland, Oregon, and you thought the ice raids were going to take a while to make it to our city, you're wrong. They were already spotted in Northeast Portland and in downtown today. Remember that if you see an ice truck, you yell "La migra" as loud as possible. If you need to covertly alert somebody without yelling, if you think that they have a better chance at getting away that way, you can say "Oye, la migra aquí," which just means, hey, ICE is here. Get out of here. Remember to use your privilege as a citizen to help our comrades that don't, because they need us right now. And a very unfriendly reminder that no one is illegal on stolen land.
These leftist terrorists, they think they're the new underground railroad of Hispanic people. Now, that's the new position they're in. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. They're gonna be the new MLK. Yeah, that's what these modern leftists think they're doing right now. This is the new civil rights movement for them.
I am trans, yes. So I'm gender fluid. So that means that sometimes I feel like presenting female and sometimes I feel like presenting male or non-binary.
So how do you kind of feel about Trump saying there were two genders yesterday?
Well, that's just like false. Gender and sex are different things. So gender, there's a huge spectrum. If you say like there's two sexes, like I suppose that has a little bit more validity with how sexes are defined right now, but still there's a lot of gray area. So he's just not very knowledgeable about the stuff he's talking about. As like someone who's part of the LGBTQ plus community, having Trump as a president again makes me feel insecure. It makes me feel threatened, and it also makes me concerned about the future of our country, and makes me concerned about my future because I'm directly affected by the policies that he's putting in place.
Under fascist regimes, police are given almost limitless power to enforce laws. The people are often willing to overlook police abuses and even forego civil liberties in the name of patriotism. There is often a national police force with virtually unlimited power in fascist nations. Fascist regimes almost always are governed by groups of friends and associates who appoint each other to government positions and use governmental power and authority to protect their friends from accountability. It is not uncommon in fascist regimes for national resources and even treasurers, to be appropriated or even outright stolen. And the last one, which I wasn't naming all of these, but just to give you the last one's name, it's fraudulent elections. Sometimes elections in fascist nations are a complete sham. Other times, elections are manipulated by smear campaigns against or even assassination of opposite candidates, use of legislation to control voting numbers or political district boundaries, and manipulation of the media. Fascist nations also typically use judiciaries to manipulate or control elections. So there you have it. If you don't believe we're living in a fascist society, I guess you're a fascist or really fucking stupid. And both are terrible. I have no respect for anyone who voted for this disaster.
Oh my god, you guys. Fascism is here. Totally. Oh.
Guys, how do you feel about the lot of us, blue voters, filing, I don't know if it would be a civil suit or a class action suit against Donald Trump and his minions for the stress and the anxiety and the effects on our mental health and physical health and well-being, along with the suffering of our relationships that Donald Trump has caused us?
Republicans, which is it? Are we too broke? Are we worried about the deficit? Are we worried about the debt ceiling? Are we worried about the United States spending? Are we worried about taking care of our own United States citizens first? Or should we draft up a bill, legislation to buy Greenland? Which fucking is it? Should we cut food stamps for families who can't afford food, even if they're working full time, because the minimum wage has not caught up to the cost of living, and it never will because of Republicans? Which is it? Y'all are the party of being fiscally conservative, right? Right? But then you're gonna go and sign on the back of Trump saying, yeah, we should buy Greenland. We should do this because he said so. Anything that Trump says, that's the way it is. Even though they sold us this other dream and mission where they were going to get rid of immigrants, but not immigrants who work in tech. Then they'll take the American jobs that y'all say you wanted. Elon Musk calls you stupid. Basically says you'd rather pay for immigrants to work these jobs because he doesn't have time. We don't have the education here, and he'd rather exploit their labor and pay them less than pay for Americans to have this job. And y'all still, Trump's not going to back away from Musk. Like, they are buddy, and that's who y'all support. Okay, got it.
You are a bad person and you are racist. You can't use the excuse that you didn't know that he was going to do this because he ran on it. You can't use the excuse that you just don't want criminals in our country because you elected one to run it. You elected a felon and a rapist to run our country. Immigrants are the backbone of America. They pick our fruit, they build our homes, and they are outstanding members of society. They do not commit more crime than American-born citizens, but clearly you do not care about crime because you voted for a criminal yourself. So let's call a spade a spade. You're racist. And you should be ashamed of yourself, and you should feel embarrassed. And you will lose friends over this decision. This will be in the history books, and you will be on the wrong side of history. You are a bad person. And I hope you have to live with that, and I hope it keeps you up at night. And I hope these tariffs fuck you in the ass.
I am fine with being a bad person and having this keep me up at night. I am fine with these tariffs because you know what? American industries need to be protected. And what these limousine liberals, these champagne socialists don't understand is that the reason there is a Trump backlash is because large portions of this country were screwed over by free trade. You have these so-called leftists who are supposedly for the working class, for the working man on paper. And they don't even care that millions of people got screwed over. Millions of towns lost wealth from free trade. But now, because the MSM tells them tariffs are bad, and that's going to make inflation worse. These people are robots. They cannot think for themselves.
Donald Trump has been our president for over a month and hasn't done one damn thing. All that he promised us Americans, to get us to vote for him. Gas prices are still high. Still can't afford a carton of eggs. TikTok is getting banned next month. There are still illegals coming in. You can still go unalive your unborn child just because you decided to open your legs, not for any good reason. All these reasons that Americans have voted for Trump, and he hasn't done one damn thing. He isn't even in the White House yet, and he's been our president for over a month. Biden is the one holding press conferences and acting like our president. Like, Biden is not our president anymore, but he's acting like our president. He's doing everything that Trump promised. I totally regret my vote. Totally regret it.
So the second the inauguration's done, Trump starts signing executive orders, one of which is to try to erase the existence of people like me, non-binary humans. His whole, there are only 2 recognized sexes here in the United States. He's not going to erase me. He's not going to erase people who are like me. We have always existed, and we will continue to exist, and we are stronger than that big orange, I don't want to get this taken down, so we'll just say that we are stronger than him. So over the next 4 years, really pay attention to the amount of cruelty that he's putting out there. Remind yourself of previous people in power and the type of cruelty they exhibited and where that cruelty led us. The annihilation of groups of people. That's what they want to do. They want to, people like this, they want to wipe other people groups off of the face of the planet. It's not going to happen. In 4 years, I will still be here. I will still exist. And hopefully we get someone who is of better moral character than him.
People that have lived here for a really long time call that area Mexicanville, and I don't. When we moved here from California, from LA area, that's where we moved, and that's always been like, I know my blood isn't Hispanic, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Colombian, whatever it, but I want to go help. It was right there, and I had to drive away because I'm a mother and I can't. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I don't know. It could just be something's happening, but knowing that today is the day they start, and knowing that a huge mass of the population of that ish whatever area is on the map.
Look at that poor Californian white woman all broke up over these deportations. Man, I am so excited headed into 2025. I am ready for the rest of this year. There will be major improvements. Housing prices will go down. The cost of goods will go down. So many things will be restored. Just you wait. You haven't even gotten tired of winning yet. What a meltdown, what a meltdown. Anyways, if you really enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Share it, because that's the #1 way you can help support this channel. Subscribe as well if you haven't already, and consider going down into the description section and subbing to be on Patreon for other benefits if you really want to help out this channel monetarily. And anyways, red channels will catch you in the next one.